I am in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. I just entered the state and I'm heading up to Milwaukee. But before I get there, there are, from my understanding, 2 traditional stops that you have to make on the way up 94. And one of them is the Jelly Belly factory and store. They do have a factory tram tour here, but I'm not going to do that because they do not allow photography, and that is very stupid. But we have time to check out the store. There's a jelly bean man on the floor. And there's a neon jelly bean on the ceiling. So everything here is Jelly Belly related. They have a lot of merch, including a Cheesehead jelly bean shirt, and there's a large variety of jelly beans. Since I'm here, I guess I can cheat a little bit with the one flavor I like, green apple. There's a display on President Ronald Reagan, who very much enjoyed the jelly bean. The Gipper was a big smoker in the 50s and 60s, and decided when he ran for California governor that he needed to have a new vice, and that turned into jelly beans. The Jelly Belly company was and still is based out of California, so he constantly had shipments of jelly beans being sent to his office while governor. Those are 3 of President Reagan's golf balls and a Reagan executive pen. The company sent 3.5 tons of jelly beans for his first inauguration, and he constantly consumed them and shared them around the executive offices during his tenure as president. Now I'm in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the other must-do traditional stop on the way to Milwaukee, the Mars Cheese Castle. And as you can see, castle is not an exaggeration. That is a cheese castle. Cannot wait for this. Mars Cheese originally started out of a schoolhouse here in Kenosha in 1947, and as the company grew, they decided their cheese needed some royal treatment, so they built a freaking castle. The castle theming continues inside. They do have a bakery, jams, meats, and other items, but what's really important is the Wisconsin cheese. And here are examples of all types of cheese in all different forms. There's a bunch of cheese curds. Alright, so I got some, I think these are mozzarella curds. So, yeah, this was pretty epic. Now let's head to Milwaukee. Since I've now made it to Milwaukee, I'm going to take a little walk along Wisconsin Avenue near Marquette University. That is the City Club inside the old Mitchell Mansion that was built in 1895. This amazing building is the Milwaukee Central Library. It opened in 1898 and the Milwaukee Public Museum also used to be in this building. This is Milwaukee's Washington Monument, sculpted by Richard Henry Park in 1885. It is a full-body statue of a 43-year-old General George Washington. Also here at the Court of Honor is the Carnival Column, made of Bedford, Indiana limestone. It stands 65 feet tall and was designed by Alfred Class. And there's a Spanish-American War Memorial. This is the Victorious Charge, an 1898 bronze Civil War monument by John S. Conway. This is a fallen firefighter memorial. This colossal building is the Milwaukee County Courthouse, built in 1931. While it is regarded as one of the grandest courthouses in the country, Frank Lloyd Wright called it a $1 million rock pile. I did go down to the river to see some stuff like the bronze fawns, but that is in a separate video. I'm staying at the Hyatt Regency here in Milwaukee. I got a really good deal, and also some great views of the city with that. Also, it's my 18th birthday today, so I'm celebrating and dreading adulthood here in Milwaukee. That's my chicken and waffles breakfast. The Hyatt now stands on the site of the Hotel Gilpatrick, where on October 14, 1912, presidential candidate Theodore Roosevelt was shot. Roosevelt was campaigning for re-election to the presidency with the Bull Moose Party. As he walked out the front door of the hotel, which was right here, he got into his open-air car, and he was shot in the chest by a Colt revolver from 5 feet away by John Schrank. People in the crowd tackled and restrained Schrank, but Roosevelt said, "Don't hurt him, bring him to me, I want to see him." Teddy asked him, "What did you do it for?" and Schrank didn't reply. Roosevelt tried coughing up some blood, but he couldn't, and he also wasn't bleeding badly, so he assumed that the bullet hadn't penetrated his lungs, and he told the driver to go to his expected speech at the Milwaukee Auditorium. When he got there, his opening line was, quote, "Friends, I shall ask you to be as quiet as possible. I don't know whether you're fully aware that I have just been shot." And then he revealed his unbuttoned vest and his blood-stained shirt. He said it takes more than that to kill a bull moose. The bullet's velocity had been slowed by his eyeglass case and a 50-page speech that was in his vest pocket. I have seen those items and the shirt he was wearing at Roosevelt's birthplace in New York City. Roosevelt did agree to go to the hospital after his speech, and he did take a few days off the campaign trail to recover. Schrank claimed that in a dream he saw McKinley in his coffin, and McKinley told him that Roosevelt was his murderer and to avenge his death. He ended up at an insane asylum for the rest of his life. Seriously, Teddy Roosevelt was a badass. He's one of my favorites, and this is the finest example of his badassery that happened right here. The Hyatt's massive atrium is pretty cool. This is a statue of the mail carriers near the Hyatt. This sculpture depicts an 1889 white man, a 1939 black man, and a 1989 white woman. The base says it was dedicated in honor of the men and women who have delivered for America in rain, sleet, and snow, and in tribute to their union, the National Association of Letter Carriers. The statue stands across the street from the spot where the union was formed, in a tavern where disgruntled mailmen met in 1889. Thousands of mailmen and mailwomen attended the dedication of the statue in 1989. I have a few more videos in Milwaukee, so please go check those out, and thanks for watching.